what we had yesterday, what did you identify? What is the use of case types? Chappan, someone tell me instead of. Yeah, with the basic information what we have so far. So case type, it is a process rule actually. Case type, it is a process rule which defines what? Okay, just hang on, I'll write down this way. Case type is a process rule. Okay, so we can add case types. We can add case types from case type explorer. From case type explorer, like we have data type explorer for adding data types. We have case type explorer for adding case types. So here you go. This is case types explorer. Here you can add case type. What is the case type? Case type provides a designer. Case type provides a design for specific design for work object, or you call it as case. Specific design for work object or case life cycle. So we can go ahead and design work object life cycle, or you can call it as case life cycle using case types. What will be there in the life cycle? Case life cycle is going to have below. What is that first one? Stage. It can be one or more stages. What is the next one? Processes. It can be one or more process. Next one? Step. It can be one or more steps. What do you mean by stage? It is logical collection of one or more processes, right? One or more process will be there in a stage. So what is the process? It is a flow. What do you mean by step? It is a flow shape. It can be any flow shape. It's not only assignment, it can be any flow shape. So our work object life cycle, previously we have seen that work object life cycle has been defined with starting shape of the flow and ending shape of the flow. In between there are a number of flow shapes. But now coming to case types, your work object life cycle has been redesigned to have stages, processes and steps. So case life cycle will have going to start at start stage and gets completed at resolution stage. Gets completed at resolution stage. Let me create it out. 564, right? '21 now. Okay, so case life cycle is going to start at start stage and ends at resolution stage. So these are the basic details that we have understand. But when we create a case type, it may create below rules. It may create below rules automatically. So what are the rules? First one, case type class, which belongs to class group. I will tell you what is this. Belongs to class group. So far you know class group and does not belong to class group. Can you guess and tell me what do you mean by belongs to class group? Inheriting from class group. Okay. Second one, it will create a case type class. After that, it is going to create processes. That means flows will be created, right? It is going to create flows. It will create a case type rule and will create Optionally, it will create properties, sections, flow actions. This is optional if you add. If you are not adding, it will not creating. It is not going to create all these things. Anything else, it is going to create property, sections, flow actions. It is going to create data transforms and other rules also, which I will tell you later. Data transforms. It will create work party. So I'll tell you other things later, but as of now we will discuss about what we know. So these are the rules that gets created when you add a case type. See, case type is going to have stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and so on, a number of stages. At each under each and every stage, we can go ahead and add multiple processes, one or more processes. In each process, we can add a step. So what you see here, this is a stage. And inside a stage, the square box, what you see here, it is a process. Inside a process, the number 1, what you see here is a step. If you go here to the process and click on open process and open this is the flow in the background. You know what is the flow already, right? Okay, so the advantage of case type is you are not required to create sections and calling in flow actions. This and all is not required. Apart from this, there are many other advantages. Let me show you one other advantage for users. So that is, so look at here, whenever I am going to create a case, it is going to display stage details, stage 1, stage 2, like this. You'll see a number of stages. If you click on this, in each stage, what process, what steps are executing, you can see. As an end user, now you are being provided with a facility that you will clearly know where the processing is currently. So in a transaction processing, currently where it is available. Is it waiting at stage 2 or stage 3 at certain step? What is completed? What has to be done at where currently exactly the case is at. This kind of display is not available in workflow. As a developer, you can click on where am I. There is something called where am I. You will come to know where it is available. But end users, previously when you execute a workflow, do you find any facility like this, like any visual user interface like this to display the complete transaction path of the work object? As an end user, you cannot see that. When you create a work object directly executing workflow, you cannot see the transaction path of the work object. But when you add case types, it will clearly display all stages where currently work object is available. Whether it is a stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3, wherever it is available, it is going to display. This is another advantage with respect to visual appearance to end users. Okay, there are many other advantages we'll discuss later. Let's go ahead and proceed forward. Work on adding a case type in your application. So whatever the work that we have done so far, creating customer details form, vehicle details form, and integrating into workflow and executing workflow, the same we wanted to redesign into a case type. Okay, so write down the business requirement, working with case types, and write down business requirement. Working with case types. Write down. Create a new case type. Create a new case type. Create a new case type and add customer details and vehicle details into it. And add customer details. Add customer details and vehicle details into it. This one we have already done as a workflow design. Now we are going to transform it into case type. So we are going to create a case type and add customer details and vehicle details into it. Do we have any other screens? I think we don't have, right? So we'll go ahead with these two. So when you are adding steps, these can be added in 2 steps in one single stage, right? I can add one stage, there I can go ahead and add customer details step and I can add vehicle details step. But how many stages you have to create, how would you decide? So as I have told you, stage is the logical collection of similar kind of steps and processes generally. Similar kind of things you will capture under one stage. So customer details and vehicle details, both are same type or logically both are same or different? Vehicle details and customer details. Logically, if you look at both of these, are they same or different?
The same.
They are different.
Type of information.
They are different actually. Vehicle is related to vehicle. Suppose collecting customer documents, collecting vehicle documents. Both are same or different? Both are different. So if you create a stage for collecting user details, that is going to be customer details, customer documents, customer address details, related to anything related to customer. If you create a stage, vehicle details, it is for personal vehicle, it is for commercial vehicle, document related to vehicle, losses related to vehicle, something like this. Like this, you have to logically divide your stages in a transaction processing. Okay, each stage is a collection of similar kind of steps related to customer approval. If you want to add, it can be manager approval, senior manager approval, senior manager approval. All different types of approvals will go into one separate stage called approval. Suppose you want to go out with verifications. Can I add verification into approval? No, verification should be a separate stage, and different types of verifications that you are performing, like address verification, employment verification, some health verification, something like this, all verifications under one separate stage, something like this. Related documents also in the same stage. Like this, you need to identify and define the stages. Okay, so creating a case type. Yeah, please.
So I think this is important for topic for me. The first thing is, can we say like these stages as an epic and steps in that as an user stories?
User stories, huh?
Yes, because most of them are.
You should not understand it like requirement wise. You should understand it functional wise, functionality wise. You need to logically divide and then understand it. It's
because
not like
case
user story.
designed by business analyst is what I heard and what I am currently experiencing.
Sorry, what is that? Come again.
Case types are designed by a business analyst who will be
Not always.
linking.
See, now by introducing case type, a business analyst also can create your transaction model. Previously, business analyst, if they want to create all this, they have to go out and use a wizard called application profiler and application accelerator. Those have been deprecated from Pega 7 and given only with during application profiler and application accelerator. They have a facility to add workflows look like dummy draft flows. But after that wizard is removed, now we have only application creation wizard. That is what we have already accessed. Case types we can add. While adding case types and all, you can add dummy steps and all here. You can complete your design. A business analyst can go ahead and add case types and define your complete transaction processing. Can be done. But ultimately in your application development, in your enterprise application, it's not that business analyst is the one going to do this task. It can be tech leads. It can be business analyst. It's not always business analyst. Or they both are together can be doing this. Business analyst, when they create, they'll create only dummy. So if they create all the properties, sections, flow actions and all as per the design changes, do they know about design changes? Do they know about dynamic drop down populating? Again, as a programmer, you have to work on it. That is okay. A business analyst can create case types as a skeleton of your transaction processing. That's it. Nothing more than that. But
Okay,
it's not that always a business analyst is going to do this task.
Yeah, now the biggest challenge I am facing is they want to implement this agile workbench. Okay, where we link this case type to an agile workbench. Can you show us after this session? I mean, how do we do that? Because
no, I'm not very much sure about agile workbench. I need to really check that and tell you. I need some time.
Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah, fine. So creating a case type for what? Adding, okay, for insurance processing. You know what is there inside this. Already I've given in your notes. Let me show you the steps to create a case type. You need to go to Cases Explorer. Go to Cases Explorer. So here you go. And click on this, add a case. I'm sorry. Click on add a case type. Click on add a case type. I'm going to click on add a case type. Once you click on add a case type, it will show you this pop-up asking for the case type name. Case type name, what you give here, is the name of the it is name of the case type class. It is not exact case type name. I'll show you what is the case type. This can be insurance, right? This is insurance. You can give something like vehicle insurance if you want to give. Okay, and advanced settings here go with. So here this class is deriving from which class? Class group. So, and the rule sets are accordingly chosen. Direct inheritance and pattern inheritance both are from the same class group. Okay, we will create the same way. Create and open, submit this. Just for your information, you can expand and see. Submit this. So once you submit it, so previously I have shown you while creating test case type, I have added some properties here, right? Now should I have to add properties related to customer form, vehicle form, or do we already have those properties, sections, flow actions created available? We have all those created available, right? Where, in which classes those are available? In organization classes, and accordingly in framework classes, I believe somewhere it is available. So is that parent of current class like insurance? This is child of implementation. For implementation, organization is parent. For implementation, framework is parent. So can I access those here? So no need to create and add here. I can modify it after I create it. After I create everything, I can open the flows and modify it. I'll be doing that later. So here I go with, go to workflow tab. Go to workflow tab. So here I go with workflow tab. So click on add lifecycle. Click on add lifecycle. Okay, I'm going to click on add lifecycle here. Once you click on add lifecycle, it is going to display like this. So here I go and give the first stage name. Let's say user details. This is the first one. User. What is the next stage? Vehicle details. Next stage, case close. I wanted to go ahead and case close. This is clear, everyone? 3 stages I have added like this. See, at case close stage, select resolve the case. Select resolve the case option on right side. We'll be discussing, we are going to discuss about this in few minutes after this is completed. Resolve the case. Once you choose this, you can see resolution status. What is the status? Resolved completed. After this is case types is completed, we are going to work on work object status. Okay, we will be working on it. As of now, that is by default pre-filled. You can just keep it. Now I have added stages. Next, what should I add? Now add steps and processes. Okay, so go to first stage here. Sorry. So here when you mouse over onto process, it will show you step. Click on plus step here. See, this step is for collecting the customer details, right? If you click on step, you'll see something called collect information. Choose collect information. Choose that. So once you choose it, it is going to ask you the step name. What is the name of the step? Customer details. This is clear, everyone? Write the name of the step, customer details. Similarly, add a step in stage 2. Okay, in stage 2 you have to go ahead and add a step. So here you go with, so here you go and add a step. So again same, right? Collect information. This is related to personal vehicle. This is related to personal vehicle. We may have in future commercial vehicles. Add it. So that's it. You can save this. See, I have not configured any views. When you configure views, sections, flow actions, properties, if at all you add, will be created. I'm not configuring any views here. So the reason being, I have already my sections, flow actions, everything created available. So we already have customer details, comma, vehicle details, sections, properties, comma, sections and flow actions created available in parent classes. So now open the by OOTP what it has created. Let me show you. See, now you go to App Explorer to see what is being created. Now go to App Explorer and see what rules are being created. So you can go here to the App Explorer. Vehicle insurance class is created. Right click on the class, definition. What is this class definition all about? What is this option? This class, you can see, belongs to a class group. What do you mean by belongs to class group? Belongs to a class group. What do you mean by this? So case type classes are child classes of
work class.
Class group. That is what the meaning of belongs to a class group. Let me go ahead and give this in the same other document. Other document, I told you, right? These rules gets created. Let me give the screenshots here as well so that you can see the rules that are being created. Now, processes, case type. This is most important to understand. I'll tell you in a few minutes. Flows. How many flows that we have added? How many processes we have added? 3 processes we have added. So, but how many processes here it has created? How many processes here it has created? We can see, I'm sorry, we have added 2 processes. It has created 3 processes. Okay, as per our design, as per the design, we have added how many processes? 2 processes. But it has created created 3 processes, right? So what are the process names? We'll talk about that later. And it has created a case type called PY default. It has created a case type with the name PY default. It has also created case type with name PY default. These are the rules that it has created. I'm sorry. Let me take it into theory document. Okay, this is clear. So now your belongs to class group class is being created and it has created a case type called PY default, and it has also created some flows. Now we are going to discuss about these flows. Now look at here. If you open the flows, user details, see, flow is the one which creates a work object, right? How many flows are there here? Multiple flows are there. The flows which you have added is user details flow, and the flows which you have added is vehicle details flow. So these are user created flows, user defined flows. If you go to user defined flows here, creates new work object. Is it selected? Is it enabled at least? Enabled or disabled? It is disabled. So let me write down all this in theory part. Okay, theory document about flows created. Okay. So the flows we have, the processes we have added, during case type design are subflows for those creates a new work object, right? Option is disabled, meaning that these flows cannot create work object. But you need a flow to create a work object. These flows cannot create a work object. So, but definitely we need a flow to which creates a work object. But definitely we need a starting flow which creates work object, right? So now you open another flow. What is that? PY start case. You open another flow, py start case. This is the flow. Case types have created another flow. What is that flow name? Py start case. Py start. The name itself says it is going to start case processing, right? If you go to process tab of this, here you see creates a work object. It is disabled plus it is been selected or not? It has been selected. Here we can see that this flow is creating work object. Creating work object. This is responsible for creating work object. That means when we run a case type, work object gets created by an auto created flow. What is that flow name? Py start case. This is the one which is going to create a work object actually. Okay. So we'll understand more theory sometime later in few minutes. Now look at here. We'll come back to practical. We'll just keep it aside. We'll come back to this one. Now the flows what is created. Suppose if you run the case type, I'm going to run the case type and show you. If I run the case type, it is not going to display anything in the UI. There will be one screen by default you get. You just ignore this for now. I'll explain this later. You just click on proceed to done. Click on done to proceed forward, and here you see there is nothing defined here. There is no view defined for this. Did we add any flow actions for customer details or vehicle details? Did we add any views and all? We have not added. So what we need to do is we need to add views for this steps. That means we need to add flow actions, sections and flow actions. But we already have flow actions and sections created available. So we need to modify the existing case type to add the flow actions. So you just go ahead here, and once after you see this, now what I'm going to do is, this is done up to here. Now modify the case type created flows to call the flow actions which are available at parent classes. But this is sorry, not this one. Where is case type? This is case type, right? Open case type. Now select first process, select user details process. So select this one. Once you select this, on right side you see open process, right? Click on open process. Click on open process button. Where is open process button? Here you go. If you click on open process button, it will open the same flow. User details flow here is there, right? It will open the same flow. Instead of opening from the class tree, you can open the other way around, choosing the process at the case type rows. Now check out and modify this. Check out and modify this. Accordingly, we are going to modify. Now look at here. I'm going to check out. This is already checked out. Draft mode. We need to off the draft mode. That we have to do. When you off the draft mode, flow action is mandatory. So you need to select the flow action. Okay, let me get rid of this error message. Screenshots, it will not be good. So let me go ahead and double click to call the flow action. Double click on output connector. To call flow action. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. So what is the flow action here? Click the down arrow. You will see customer details flow action, which is available in organization class. So that is the one which I am going to choose now. Done, completed. Submit this. So draft mode I'm going to turn off and then save this. And you make sure you're going to check in. Check-in checkout is not available. How to make it available? This is an implementation application, right? Implementation related classes. Check-in checkout is not available for implementation rule set. What should be done? Rule set you need to open. This is mandatory. I'm not going to tell you the screenshots and all with you. You should do for every rule set that you are using. You make sure that rule set has check-in checkout enabled going forward. Okay. Now if you open and see this, you'll be getting check-in checkout options. Okay. Now fine. This is fine. Save and then check-in. Done. Completed. Similarly, modify vehicle details flow, vehicle process. So let me go ahead and do that. This is vehicle process. You know, click on open process and all, right? Completed. So now open case type and save. And run the case type. How to run the case type? You are not required to click here because this is only for developer. You can go to create menu and choose here new vehicle insurance. Did you get it here? Case type description, vehicle insurance. If you run this vehicle insurance here, the first screen every time you get like this, you just ignore this, clicking on done. I will talk about this later. Now you should get personal vehicle details screen and all. Did you get personal vehicle details screen? Sorry, personal information screen. And then submit this. You should see vehicle details screen. And after this, case should get closed. So win ID I'm going to enter and then submit. Case has been closed. Closed with status. What is the status? Result completed. I'll talk about status in some time. Let's understand more about case types. Okay, this is clear. This is what you have to do. Generally, if you have not created all the rules before creating case type itself, maybe while creating case type, you need to add fields and configure view and select like what we have done yesterday. Okay, but now we will understand more about case types that are being created. PY start case flow is created, right? We're going to come back to theory document. Everyone clear so far? So when you create a case type, it has created flows appropriately, properties, sections, flow actions, if you would have added already while creating. Otherwise, it will not create. It has created a class with the name similar to what we have given, vehicle insurance, and it has created a flow called PY start case apart from the processes which we have added in stages. It has created another flow called PY start case, which is responsible for creating work object. Apart from all this, it has created a rule called PY default, which is case type. Okay, apart from all this, it has created a case type rule with the name PY default. So it has created, apart from all this, all the above, it has created a case type rule with name what? PY default. Okay, look at here now, PY default, I have opened it. See, the name of the rule is PY default. What is the description of the rule? You have a label and ID for a rule, right? ID is the one which is the name of the rule. Label is display name. What is the display name of case type? Rule name is PY default. Display name is vehicle insurance. That's why when you go to create menu, here you see vehicle insurance. When you click on vehicle insurance here, that will execute. When we click on vehicle insurance in create menu like this, it is going to execute py default case type rule. Py default case type rule. Can you tell me one thing? It is available in create menu, right? If you go to manager profile, manager portal, should it be available in new menu? Is it available? So if you want a flow to be available in this drop down, either in new menu or either in create menu, what is the update that we have made? Manually we have made some update some time back, right? In which rule we have made changes? In order for our workflows to be available in this create menu or new menu in manager portal, we have modified one of the rule.
Application rule form.
Which rule we have modified?
Rule. Which application
rule we have modified? We have done this recently.
Application rule form.
We have opened application rule form and modified. In application rule, which tab we have modified? Cases and data. What are the labels that we have modified? The modifications we have done, right? What are the exact labels?
Flow name, work ID,
Flow,
and class
flow
group.
name, work ID prefix, implementation class. Anything else is there? There is a checkbox, right? So if you go to application rule, cases and data, here your vehicle insurance is added. Did we add this? It has been automatically added. Because it is added here, you will see in the create menu. Suppose if I remove this here, it will not be available in create menu. And when I run the case type, what will be the workability prefix? Workability prefix will be v dash. So if I want to modify prefix from v dash to something else, can I modify? Here I can modify. This is also been added when you create a case type. When you run that case type, it is going to execute the case type py default. So this case type is available in a drop down of create or new menu there, because the reason being it has been added in application rule form. Now when you choose this, so when you are going to create like this, it is vehicle insurance. This is display name. What is the actual name of case type? Py default. Py default case type will be executed. This is clear. So py default case type, after it is executed, where is it? Py default case type will be executed. So we can see here in py default case type, in the above screenshot, we can see it is calling a flow. It is calling a starting process. What is the starting process it is calling? Py start case. It is calling a starting process called py start case. This is clear. Now how your py start case flow is executing? When you go to top menu and click on vehicle insurance, it is executing case type. Case type is calling starting flow. Suppose if I remove py start case here and if I place begin insurance, what will happen? What will happen? Begin insurance flow will be executed. This is clear. So what is there in the starting py start case? Let me open and see. Open py start case flow and let me explain you. Open py start case flow. How to open it? Click on what we need to do. Click on edit icon beside above flow. Beside above flow, you have edit icon, right? Here. If you click on this, it will open that py start case flow. So you may not be able to understand this flow shape as of now. I wanted to give you some information about the ultimate information, how your case type will be executed, stages and all. View prop open flow. Do not bother about these flows as of now. I will tell you this later. See, your py start case is executing above activity. Our py start case flow is calling above below activity. Below activity. What is the activity? This is the activity. pz initialize stage. pz initialize stage. This is that. Now it is calling an activity. What is there inside that activity? Let me show you. Here, this activity in turn is calling other activities. Other two activities. What are those activities? From the name itself, you should be able to tell me, looking at the name of the activity, you should be able to tell me what could be the purpose of these activities.
Stages. It's called the stages.
Okay, pz get first stage. Can you tell me, guess and tell me what is this activity purpose? pz get first stage. This activity execute
First stage.
starting stage defined in case type. Case type. What about this one? Px change stage.
Next stage.
By default, Px change stage is to next stage. This will execute next stage. Next stages will be executed by this one after other. First stage, after that second stage Px change stage, third stage again. Once every stage is completed, it will perform Px change stage. First stage is completed, Px change stage. Change to next stage. Second stage is completed, Px change stage to next stage. Like this, it will go till all the stages completed. How process commander knows what is first stage, what is second stage, how when stages are completed, how exactly it knows. So now look at here, open py default. What is the I will talk about px, py, pz later, not now. That is not relevant. Now, see here, process commander finds the order of the finds the details of all stages from case type rule. Look at here. Go to case type rule, go to stages tab. So here do you have stages defined? Mentioned here. What is the first stage here? In the screenshot, you can tell me here. What is the first stage? User details. What is the second stage? What is the last stage? Third stage? After that, does it have any stages? No, it doesn't have. So from here, it is going to read the details about stages. So your execution will be once you click on create menu and execute case type, it will execute py. It will execute py default case type. When py default case type is executed, it is going to execute py start case. In py start case, it will execute an activity pz initialize stage. In that activity, it will call an activity. What is the activity name? pz get first stage. For pz get first stage, it will pass first stage name as a parameter. What is the first stage name? Where it is going to read it from? It will read from here. This is first stage name will be passed to pz get first stage. After that, it will change the stage, right? See here, there is an option. When all processes in a stage are completed, what should happen? Automatically move to next stage. It will automatically move to next stage. What is the next stage information it has to pass? I will repeat again. Hang on, Ankur. What is that? Vehicle details. When vehicle details process are completed, next stage it will automatically move to and case close. After this, it will try to move on to next stage. But what is this stage says? Resolve the case. Can it move to next stage? Case is resolved. No other step. After this, if I add one more stage also, it will not move. Once it comes across resolution stage, processing will be stopped at the resolution stage. Can I add one more stage after resolution stage? Possible or not possible in the designer? It is possible. You can add. But execution, you have to make it conditional. Okay? When that has to be executed, when this condition, that and all we'll see later, not now. So once it comes to resolution stage, processing will be stopped. Okay, so this is clear, everyone? This is the process of reading the stage names from case type code. Let me write down the same. So the execution of case types and comma stages and steps will be like this. So how it will be done? Either it can be new menu or create menu. New menu, I'm going to write down new menu case type. So case type is going to execute. So you choose new menu. It is going to call Okay, new menu. In that, choose case type. After this is completed, next, what will happen? It executes
Pay by default.
P by default case type, right? So in P by default case type, it calls what it calls next. It executes Py start case. This is flow. Py start case flow, and that it is going to execute. It calls an activity. What is the activity? Pz initialize stage. See that this activity in turn calls two other activities, right? This activity in turn calls two other activities. What are those activities? What are those activities? Calls an activity pz
Get first stage.
pz get first stage, and next is it is going to call another activity. What is that?
Ex change stage.
Change stage.
Calls another activity px change stage. I will talk about this px, py, pz and all later, not now. This is how the execution will happen. Okay, so it is going to execute Py default start case, we get initial stage, get first stage. Stages information will be read from stages tab under Py default data transform. Stages information, stages names will be read from Py default case type under defined under stages tab. This is clear. This is how internally PRPC works when you execute a case type. Everyone clear so far? So this and all is theory. These are the basic details about case types. Okay.
Case to process when we mention a case completed, we should not check that completed, then we can add another shift, it will be executed.
Yeah, if you are not resolving the case, it will further execute. If you are resolving, it will stop there itself. Now we'll understand more about this resolution and all, like status of the work object. Okay, look at here. It is already 10 o'clock. Okay, we'll wind up to this. You go through complete this business requirement and then go through the document and understand the execution process. Okay, you open each rule and see each rule practically. Okay, so then only while you are navigating, you'll remember more than.
Harsha, one question.
Just hang on. Venu. What is that you are asking? I was creating data types under organization. Yes, that is inheriting from the properties created. That's not a problem. If you are creating data type, it will automatically inherit the properties which are there in organization class. If it is showing in the data designer, don't bother about it. You can simply ignore that. You know how to remove the columns if it is added by default, right? You know how to remove the column?
If we remove, it is removing the properties from the organization class.
You should not remove in the designer. After you create table completed, edit columns, there you remove.
Oh,
it will not delete the properties there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and someone else is, what is the difference? PX, PY, PZ, I'll tell you later. Someone else is asking something else.
Harsha, yes. What happens if we enable create a new work object on all the stages?
Is it is the facility provided enabling creates new work object, or it is
it's not enabled?
option itself is disabled? Option itself is disabled means you cannot check that checkbox at all.
Okay, it's default disabled. Okay.
Yeah, it's defaultly disabled. At the same time, PY start case checkbox is selected plus disabled. Means you cannot uncheck that. That must be always selected on.
Okay.
Okay.
So Harsha, when we added case type, it's by default created under belongs to class group. So we cannot create with class group when we add class.
Case type will not be class group. Generally, case types are created under class group. This is work, right? Work means case. In a work, you have different types of works, right? Each case may have different case types. So each work type is added here. Okay, this is one type of work, vehicle insurance. I can have another type of work. What is that? Health insurance. I can have another type of work. Let's say some other type of insurance it can be. These are all called work types. Other terminology is case types. This is work, that is case. Clear? Makes sense now? So your case types will be created under work class always. It cannot be a class group at all. But if you want to modify after creation, you can modify.
Okay.
One more case type. Those related case type will be selected.
You can add child case types.
Again, it will be created.
It will be created again. Yeah, you can add child case types. We'll be working on that later. Okay, you can add child case types for different processes. Okay. What is that? This one. Now. Okay, let me repeat the same. When you run the case type, let me show you here and repeat. When you're going to run the case type, it is going to execute PY default case type, because this PY default case type is what we are executing here in vehicle insurance. That is the name label of PY default. If I change here, it will be updated here as well. Okay, it should be updated in application rule form as well. Now, if you are going to run this, it is going to execute PY default case type and PY start case. Now, PY start case is going to execute in term. I'll show you. It is going to execute an activity called page at initialize stage that will execute get first stage. First stage will be executed. After that, it will change the stage to next level, next level, next level, and so on. The stages information of first stage, next stage, everything will be passed from stages tab, what is defined there. Clear? Everyone. So you wind up for today. You just go ahead and complete the requirement and read everything in the document and practically navigate to all the locations, identify and see and remember. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you for joining.